welcome back to the Samantha Marie podcast, where we talk about everything mental, spiritual, and emotional wellness, because my goal is to help you create a life that you truly love. And before we jump into it, I just want to remind you to make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you don't already at Hey, it's Samantha Marie. And I'm also on YouTube. You can watch every episode there, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you listen on Apple or Spotify, if you could rate the show, if you could write a review, that would mean so much to me. That's how we grow. That's how we reach more people. And also, if this show has been an encouragement for you, if you could share with a friend or family member, that would mean so much to me. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So today we're going to talk about 10 green flags in dating. And these 10 green flags are actually what took me off the market. And I thought it was really timely because you guys know I'm now in a serious relationship, and it's easy to just look at from the outside in. Maybe you're looking at my relationship or someone else's relationship, and it's easy to look at it and forget about like all the no's that came before that. So I had quite a few no's before my boyfriend Javin, just in the dating world, where I had times where I would really question, like, am I ever going to find someone? Am I being too picky? Are my standards too high? There was times where sometimes I would like date someone and kind of get excited about it, but I had a clear no from God, like, no, this is not it. And then like I would get like upset, and then I would realize like, yeah, this is not it. So there were so many no's before the relationship that I'm in now, and I was kind of just reflecting on that, and I thought it would be cool to go through like, what are the green flags that made me feel confident enough to say to my boyfriend now, like, yes, I want to pursue this. I want to commit to you. I want to date intentionally for marriage, because that's like a big deal, especially as you get older. You're like, I want a family. I have a certain vision for my life in mind, and like, I don't want to waste any time. So it's a big deal. Well, it was a big deal for me to make that leap from single to relationship. And so that's what I want to talk about today. And I'm really hoping that these green flags could give you confidence and maybe validate your dating experience. And whether you're single or whether you're newly dating someone or whether you're in a relationship, my hope is that these green flags could help you either confirm the direction you're moving in, or even help you navigate like what isn't right for you, and kind of be more confident in that, because every no gets us closer to our yes, right? So we're going to go through 10 green flags to look for in dating. And specifically, these have come from my recent experience from going from being single for 3.5 years to now in a serious relationship. So these green flags took me off the market. Okay, first of all, the first green flag that is a clear green flag in dating is if he is actively pursuing you. Okay. So really, like, the first things first, like, you could be crushing on someone, you could be into someone, he could maybe be into you, but is this man intentionally pursuing you? Okay. Is he making his intentions clear and consistently communicating with you, not leaving you to question things, not leaving you to feel unsure, not leaving you to feel like, I don't know where this is going, but is he being clear about his intentions? Is he actively pursuing you? And I thought this was interesting because I had a debate with people at work recently. We had one of my coworkers, it was like a group discussion. She was telling us how she met this guy and she gave him her number, and it had been a couple days and he hadn't texted her or called her. So the question was, should she reach out to him and ask him to hang out, ask him out on a date? And I was very outspoken with the fact that she should not contact him, because she already expressed interest in him. She already gave her number to this man, and he was not pursuing her. He was not taking ownership over the fact that he's the one that needs to be going out there and getting what he wants. And to me, that's a clear sign, like maybe he's not into you. Maybe he's not into this. And that can sometimes hurt, but we don't want to be with someone that isn't pursuing us, that isn't excited to get to know us. So anyway, I was like, no, you are not reaching out to him. I was very like stern with her about that. Um, but with this relationship that I'm in with my boyfriend, he made it so clear that he wanted to pursue me. On our first date, he was talking about his intentions with me and making it clear that he's not trying to waste time, that he's dating with the intention for marriage. And we had that conversation like right up front. So we both knew we weren't wasting each other's time. And we both understood that we're taking like dating seriously, and and I never questioned that he wanted to pursue me, that he wanted to get to know me. So I think that is like a number one green flag. Is he pursuing you? Is he making his intentions known? Is he calling you and asking you on dates? Um is he prioritizing time to talk to you, time to get to know you? Because listen, if a guy is interested in you, he is going to make the time to get to know you. No matter how busy he is going to make that time. So that is the first green flag. Is he actively pursuing you? And the second green flag is, do your core values align? And when they do align, that is definitely a green flag. And if you don't know what your core values are yet, I would take some time to write those out. What are the things that are most important to you? And so, for example, for me, my core values changed over the years. When I was younger, I honestly didn't really know myself yet. I didn't really know what I believed in or what I wanted. So I really didn't have core values. And that kind of allowed me to end up in situations and relationships that maybe weren't the best for me. But as I went through some hard times with relationships, I got really clear on like, what do I want? What are my core values? And for me, that was spirituality. I needed to be on the same page spiritually with someone with my faith in Christ. And I needed that to be like the number one thing. And then also like emotional health. I wanted this person to be like emotionally aware and able to communicate and able to grow with me in the area of emotional and mental health, and communication. As far as how we can communicate in a healthy way so that we can both be relaxed and at peace emotionally. So that was a core value for me as well. And another core value, it's kind of like the theme of my podcast. It's spiritual, mental, and physical wellness. So another core value of mine was like health and fitness. I just find that really important. And with balance, like, cooking our own food a lot of the times, and like, what food are we eating? What products are we using? Like, that is just something that's really important to me. So those are just examples of what's important to me. And if you haven't thought about those things, like what are core things that you need your partner to be on the same page with you on, that's so important. And for me and my boyfriend, we were clearly like literally day one, we were talking about our core values and what is most important to us, and all of those things aligned like right away. The most important things in our life aligned. And that was definitely a big green flag. So number 3, the third green flag that I found so awesome with my boyfriend today is seeing the peace that this relationship brought to friends and family. Okay. And I shouldn't say the peace that it brought to friends and family, but seeing the way that they talked about our relationship and how they thought about our relationship. So I've been in relationships and dating situations where my friends and family were like, like you could just tell by the look in their eyes. They were like, they were trying to be supportive, but they weren't like 100% supportive. With my boyfriend now, like the people that I care about most, the people closest to me, um, and even the people that are closest to my boyfriend and the people that he trusts, like we can tell that our family and our good friends, they have peace about us. They like us together. They see us together. They have peace about us being together. And that is a big confirmation from God that like this is right and we're moving in the right direction. Because if everyone around you is kind of like just trying to like appease you or just trying to kind of go along with things because they know you're just going to do it anyway and they want to keep a close relationship with you, which I understand. It's sometimes none of our business to like who someone else is with, but the feeling of having those close people that you really care about on the same page and like truly genuinely happy for you and excited about your relationship, that is such a green flag. And it's such a good feeling as well because it's confirmation that you're moving in the right direction and that other people can see that, wow, okay, this is a good thing, especially when they love you so much and they want the best for you. When they say, wow, this is great and I'm excited for you, it just really means a lot. Okay, the number 4 green flag is mutual physical attraction. So there is a lot of talk online I see about like how important is physical attraction and is it important? Can you grow in attraction with someone? And I do believe that when you get to know someone, they can become more attractive. Or you could get to know someone and they could become less attractive. And there's actually like studies that show that's why there's quite a few like people that end up dating like in the workplace and stuff because you're like interacting with people you wouldn't normally talk to, but as you get to know them, they become more attractive. So anyway, I went through a phase where when I realized this was probably like 2 years ago when I was like, okay, like I need someone to be spiritually aligned with me. I want someone of that like puts God first and all this stuff. So I ended up dating this guy who was an amazing man of God. And I was really trying with him. Like we were friends first and he started pursuing me and I really was trying to grow in attraction to him. And over time, like I just I couldn't get there. And I just at the end of the day was not attracted to him. And I only like saw him as a friend. And so I actually remember when we were dated for like a month or two, I was out hanging out with him and we saw another couple and that he knew. So we were talking to them and they seemed so cute together and you could tell they just like really loved each other. And I remember inside feeling like, I remember like saying this to God, like, God, seriously, like I have to be with this guy and you give them each other and they really love each other. Like, why do I have to be with him? And God like checked me in the moment. He was like, I'm not making you be with anyone. Like the person I have for you, you will choose them. You will be attracted to them and they will be just as attracted to you. And that was like a big thing for me because I was really trying to force it with this man because we align spiritually, but that's not always enough. Like just because one of your core values align does not mean that you should be in a relationship with this person. So anyway, being mutually physically attracted to each other, I think is so important. And it's such a green flag when both of you are really into each other. Both of you are very attracted to each other. And it's not like one person is having a hard time being attracted to the other because someone's going to get hurt in that situation. If you're super attracted to him, but he doesn't know about you, it's taking time. Like he doesn't know if he sees you as a friend or not. And that will leave you hurt and vice versa. Like we don't want to be with someone that's not attracted to us. And And if we can't like get there with whoever this person is, then that's something we need to look at, because that may never change. Like we may think, oh, if we get married, like the attraction will grow. Like, no, you need to know you're attracted to this person before you get serious with them. And so anyway, so that was a big green flag. We both are so attracted to each other, and it's on different levels. I mean, physically, yes, we're talking about physical attraction, but attraction is also emotional and mental and like intellectually. Like there's so many different levels of attraction, and or like just how you are as friends, and there's built attraction there. So anyway, green flag if you are mutually on the same page as far as physical attraction. The fifth green flag is if you are excited to bring this person around your family and friends. Like you're actually excited to talk about them with family and friends. So going back through some of my dating history, I have quite a bit to choose from because, I was out here in these streets for a minute. But I remember I was dating someone, and I would kind of like cringe at the thought of bringing them around my family and friends. Like I didn't want to introduce them to family and friends. Like this guy wanted to be serious with me. He seemed to be excited to like bring me around to his people, but I was just like, like the thought of it, like kind of like made me like, like I don't like that. Like I don't want this guy around my family and friends. And that was a red flag. That was like, okay, what are you just going to keep this guy hidden? Like, then why are you even dating him? Like, is it just because you're bored, or you just want someone there, but you don't want to like bring him around? You don't want him to be a part of your life. So I really had to reflect on that. And I really think it was kind of just like, again, I was trying to force the relationship because maybe I didn't want to be alone, or maybe we aligned on one of my core values or whatever. But that was a clear sign like, girl, that's not it. Okay. So if you are genuinely excited to bring this person around family and friends, that is a really good sign. That is definitely a green flag, because you want this person to be a part of your life. And eventually in marriage, you become one. Like your boyfriend's parents and family become your family. Your boyfriend's friends become your friends. Like and vice versa. And so it's so important that we're excited about bringing this person into our life, and we actually want this person around the people that we love most. The number 6 green flag is a shared vision on what you want in life. So my boyfriend and I we literally talked for like 10 hours on our first date. It was kind of crazy, actually. We literally nonstop talked for 10 hours straight. And we talked on the first date. And I'm not saying you have to talk on the first date about all this stuff. We kind of jumped right in. But and that's not the case for everyone. But I remember him asking me, like, do you want a family? Do you want kids? Like, what do you want in life? And I remember being like surprised that he was asking me that on a first date, but it was like really cute and really nice, and I was ready to talk about it. So I thought I loved that he was asking me that. And we both realized like we both want kids. Family is important to us. We talked about like our views on work and money and like where we would want to live, and some things came like over time. Not everything was discussed on like that day, but as far as, again, those like core values of what we want in life, we discussed those like right up front. And when you share that vision of what you want, that's a big green flag. So an example of maybe a shared vision that wouldn't be aligned, like what if this person that you're dating wants to live in a different state or travels for work a lot? Like, are you going to be okay with that? Or maybe they're in the military and you have to be okay with them living in different countries or states, and you moving around to different countries or states, people of different faith, like dating someone that is outside of your faith. Like, are you okay with having a life and raising children with someone that is a different faith than you. Like that can cause a lot of issues in the future. Or someone that handles money different than you, someone that sees debt or making money different than you. So talking about all those things and determining, like, do we share the same vision of what we want in life? And it's a green flag if those core important things, you can talk about with ease, and you actually align on those things. And again, there's going to be like differences naturally, but if you can talk through them and even help each other see different sides to like your different perspectives, and you can come together and you agree on certain things, then that's a big green flag. The seventh green flag is having similar interests. So I have really loved that my boyfriend and I have similar interests, and we also have individual interests that we pursue, which is really healthy when you can have your own interests that maybe you want to do alone, and that's good because it's good to have alone time in relationships. But also, it's very important that you do have similar interests. And this was like new for me and very refreshing for me, because I've been in situations where we didn't really have very many similar interests. And then one person ends up feeling like alone, or it causes issues because you're doing a lot of things separately. And so with my boyfriend and I, we really love to cook together. That's one thing we really enjoy, is like good food. And we like to go to the grocery store and prepare a meal and listen to music, and then, sit and eat like a nice dinner together. And we both love the outdoors. So we like going by the water and going on walks in the woods, and relaxing on the hammock. And we really like stuff like that. And we both enjoy family. We enjoy hanging out with our families. And so there's a lot of similar interests there that make it just like easy. Like we enjoy being around each other and we enjoy doing the same things. And so for you, that could look like maybe you really like sporting events and you want someone that will go to games with you and will watch, football every Sunday on TV or whatever. And so maybe that's important. Or maybe you like fine dining, like you want someone that wants to allocate their money to go and explore like really fancy restaurants. And so it wouldn't really work out if you were with someone that wants to like more so budget with food, and that could be like an issue if you were on the same page with that. So just like similar interests, I think, is super important, and it's a big green flag if you have similar interests, because it just provides like ease to the relationship, and it helps to build that friendship, which is so important in a healthy relationship. So the eighth green flag that I wrote down is ease of conversation. So this, I think, is a big one, because sometimes you just don't connect with people, and like that's fine. Like with friends, with acquaintances, like sometimes you just have that like energy where it's like, okay, we just don't connect, And so it's a really good sign when you can just easily talk to someone. Like for me, I mentioned earlier in the episode, my boyfriend and I on the first date, we literally talked for 10 hours straight. Like I don't remember the last time I talked to someone for 10 hours straight, and we still wanted to keep talking. And so that was a really good sign. Like, wow, okay, like this is just like easy to talk with him. I love to listen to him. And he asks me questions. Like it's not just like a one-way conversation. And I remember in the past, there was some guys where like I was dating for a little bit, and it was like an energy sucker, like listening to them talk. Or like, I don't mean to be rude, but sometimes, like I remember like dating someone where like they would do all the talking and they would never like ask me questions, or it was kind of like a one-way conversation. And I remember them describing me one time as quiet. And it was like a check that went off in my spirit, because I was like, this guy is describing me as quiet, when like my close family and friends know that I am not a quiet person. I could be quiet when I'm like getting to know new people or like I'm in a crowd of people. I could be more shy at first, but once you get to know me, I'm not quiet. I'm talkative, I'm outgoing, I'm extroverted. And so I could tell like this guy does not know me and he thinks I'm quiet because he does all the talking and he never lets me talk. And it was just like a one-way conversation. And it was like very irritating. Like I remember like being on the phone, like, are you ever gonna shut up? And I'm being like mean right now, but I'm just saying me and that guy were not good because we didn't have ease of conversation. Um, and so when it's just like a good friend, like you just have those friends where you could just talk for hours, you could hang out for hours. You have all these different things to talk about. And it's such a green flag for a relationship if it's easy to talk to each other. And even when you have a silence, like the silence is comfortable. And that's one thing I noticed too with my boyfriend is like we could be sitting in silence and we're comfortable. Like it's nice and it doesn't feel like something's wrong or it doesn't feel awkward or we don't feel like we have to like fill every second with conversation because it's comfortable. And I know I've been in situations where there's like awkward silences where the silences are awkward and the silences are uncomfortable. And it's just because you're not really comfortable with that person, or maybe the chemistry like just isn't there with that person. So, excuse me. Anyway, so ease of conversation, definitely green flag. So definitely look out for that one. The ninth green flag in dating is, can this person and can you both navigate conflict in a healthy way? And I want to be clear, this does not mean navigating conflict in a perfect way because we need to remember like we are both human. There is no perfect person out there. So everyone is coming to a relationship with their own baggage, with their own trauma, with their own hurts, with their own pains. So there will be things that you need to work through. There will be conflict that comes up. There will be mistakes that you make. There will be things that maybe you wish you wouldn't have said or reactions that you had that you wish you would have handled better. And that's the part of growing. That's the part of relationships. And if you both have the mindset that you are determined to grow and learn from your conflicts and like push through your conflicts to connect more deeper together and to grow and evolve into better humans individually, then that is a green flag. It's a green flag when you say, okay, I know this is going to be hard, but I am choosing you to work through this relationship with. Like I am choosing to stay when it gets hard. I am choosing to stay and work through this even though it's uncomfortable, even though it's triggering my past, even though my nervous system feels really uncomfortable with this. I am going to choose to stick it out. I'm going to choose to figure out why I'm feeling this way. I'm going to choose to learn how to show up better for myself and show up better for you in this relationship. When you have two people that are on the same page with that, that's huge. That is so huge. And it's such a green flag. And that's why I said earlier in the episode, like emotional health is so important to me because relationships are hard. Like relationships bring up a lot. And it truly, relationships are truly a way that we can transform in the best way possible if we allow God in to help us with that transformation process and if we are committed to growth and learning from conflict. So, anyway, 9 is yes, navigating conflict in a healthy way, definite green flag. And really it's about like the green flag is really like, are you both committed to learning and to growing from your conflict, which will always bring you closer together in the end. So number 10, I believe, is the most important one. The most important green flag if you are trying to determine, are you going to move forward into a relationship with this person, or are you going to cut them loose? And number 10 is God giving you the green light? So, like I said earlier, I had a lot of no's before I met Javin. And there were times where I knew in my spirit, like, this is a no, but I'm just going to try because, like, there's nothing else right now. And I don't want to be too picky and I don't want to, but like, God always confirmed, like, when I knew it was a no in my spirit, God was like, yes, it's a no. Or there were times where I remember being asked out on a date and God told me immediately no. Like, he just dropped a no, like, right away. And I remember getting upset with God, like, Lord, you're saying no to everyone. Like, can I just have some fun? Like, how do you know? Like, I haven't even talked to him yet. And he seems like a cool guy. Like, I'm just gonna go. So I still went on the date, even though in my spirit I knew God was like, no. And it's funny because I feel like God gives me, like, with dating, he would give me like looks. Like, I could see like a face and God would either give me like a side eye, like kind of like a, okay, girl, like, do your thing, but it's going to end up like I told you so kind of thing. Or he'll give me like a smile, and like a wink, you know? And so, with this particular man, he definitely said no. And then he was giving me the side eye. And so I was being stubborn. I still went on the date. And literally, guys, it was the worst date that I've ever been on. Like, it was so bad. This man was so disrespectful, so rude, so weird. It was just like awful. Okay. And but because like I met him in like a church setting and he seemed like a good guy and he seemed like spiritually aligned, and I'm like, okay, like, this could be great. I like ignored the fact that God told me no right away, and I still went on the date. And then after, like, I went home, I was really upset because I was like, this was the worst date. Like, this guy was such a jerk. And so I went home, I was upset. I remember I cried, and God literally said so clearly to me, he was like, you can hear my voice. Trust me. And in that moment, I'm like, I know, Lord, you told me no, like, and I still went forward. And I think it's completely fine that I went on the date. Like, it was actually really good because it taught me, like, I truly can hear God's voice. And so God would give me like all these no's. And with my boyfriend now, God gave me a yes. Like, even before we started dating, God was like, yes to him. And I was like, why are you saying yes to him? Like, I haven't even met him. Like, I don't even know him. And God would literally like wink at me about Javin. And so just from day one, I had a yes. I had like a smile from God, a wink from God, and I had never like had that before. And so it just felt like God's peace was on the situation, and I just knew deep down, like, okay, I can trust God with this situation. And when Javin and I did start dating, I felt like God said, you can trust me and you can trust Javin. Because at that point, I probably had I know I shouldn't say probably, like, I definitely had a little like trust issues from the past. And so it was hard for me to like trust him at first, but God kept telling me, you can trust me and you can trust Javin. And so just the fact that I felt like God was giving me the green light on this relationship and this dating process, that gave me trust, more trust in Javin and more trust in the process. And that is the biggest green flag. If you have a green light from God, then that's it. That is the best green flag that you could have. And if it is a no, if it is a red flag like from God, then we need to trust that. You have to trust that because it will not go away. And like I said at the earlier in this episode, every no is getting you closer to your yes. So though all those no's before Javin, like, yes, they were hard. Yes, I sometimes would cry about it, and I'd say like, I'm going to be single forever, and like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, Lord, I should be having fun. I should be dating. Like, why aren't you letting me date anyone? And I would get upset, and it was really hard for me sometimes, but I said, Lord, I don't care what the outcome is. I don't need to know where you're taking me. I don't need to know what's happening. All I need to do is to trust you, Lord. And that's all I want. And because I kept seeking God, because I kept trusting God, now I am in a relationship where I know that God's peace is on it, and I feel so happy and so blessed to be at this point, and I'm just so thankful that I listened to God. I'm so thankful that I followed him, because guys, it's so easy. It's so easy to get impatient and settle for the wrong person. It's so easy to get impatient and go out and do your own thing and try to make it happen on your own. That is the easier route, to be honest. Like, that is the easier route. But if you want what God wants, if you want the most prosperous path for your life, if you want what God intends for you, if you want the most joy-filled life, if you want to create a life that you truly love, what we talk about on the podcast all the time, then you have to trust God. You have to trust him with every no. And when you get that yes, it's going to make it so much better. So if you take away anything from this episode, take away the fact that the scripture says, my sheep hear my voice. So you can trust God with what he's telling you. You can trust God with the direction he's bringing you. You don't have to have all the answers. You may be in a situation where you're just like, Lord, is this ever going to happen for me? Like, Lord, am I ever going to find anyone? And I would just encourage you to not give up, and to know he did not put that desire in your heart for no reason. If you were not meant to be in relationship with someone else, then God would make that clear to you. But if you have the desire for marriage, if you have the desire for a family, then I believe that God has that for you. So keep holding on to that, keep trusting God, keep seeking him, and keep being obedient to the direction that he's calling you to move in. Okay. And before we end, I just want to pray for you. I want to pray for anyone listening. If you're struggling with dating, if you're worried about dating, let's just pray about that before we end. Okay, guys? So, Lord, I just thank you for everything you're doing. I thank you for this testimony in my own life so that it may encourage whoever's listening. A testimony is proof that this can happen for others, that the same thing can happen for others. It's record of your goodness. So, Lord, I just ask that whoever's listening would grab onto my testimony and would receive it for themselves. And Lord, I just ask that you bless whoever is worried about dating, whoever is worried about the direction that they're moving in. Lord, I ask that we just break any fear, that we cancel any fear, that we cancel doubt, and that you remind them that you have them exactly where they need to be, that all they need to do is seek you first, and that everything that is meant for them is flowing to them. And so, Lord, I thank you for the desire that you put in their heart to have a family of their own, to be in relationship with someone else, to be married, and to experience the blessing of marriage. So I just ask that you bless whoever is listening, Lord, with confidence that you make no mistakes, that your plan is the best plan, that you have an amazing plan for their life, and that you have not forgotten about them. So, Lord, I ask that you fill them up with your peace in the meantime, that you fill them up with your joy in the meantime, that this season is so beautiful, that there's so many blessings right around you right now. And so, Lord, I just thank you for the blessings and the season that we're in right now, that your plan is perfect, your timing is perfect, and that everything is working for the good of those that love you. Thank you, Lord. We love you. We praise you in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Amen. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Before you go, follow me on Instagram or TikTok. Make sure to follow me at Hey, it's Samantha Marie. And if you listen on Apple or Spotify, if you could rate the show, if you could write a review, that would mean so much to me. That's how we grow. That's how we reach more people. And we're also on YouTube. You can watch every episode there. So make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if this episode was encouraging to you, make sure to share with a friend that you know it would encourage as well. All right, guys, I will see you soon.